Welcome to Let's Talk Criterion, your regular and exclusive channel for news and reviews on the Criterion collection. And in the final week of August, we'll be taking a look at the 1999 romance drama Compensation, coming to the collection on Blu-ray. Compensation is directed and co-edited by Zeinabu Irene Davis and is a film about two parallel love stories set in two separate time periods in the turn of the century and present-day Chicago. Both stories concern a relationship between a deaf woman and a hearing man, and it's written by Mark Arthur Sherry, and it's based on a 1906 poem of the same name by African-American writer Paul Laurence Dunbar. Now, the earlier part of the story unfolds like a silent film, and filming took place back in 1993. Compensation bridges the gaps between these time-dilated romances via a number of parallels, from the use of bass-heavy music, Arthur's guitar in 1910, Chicago house music in 1990, to the skepticism expressed by Melinda and Malika's friends towards the risks of dating a hearing individual. Now, most prominently in the film, both plots concern the spectre of epidemic diseases. We have tuberculosis in the past timeline and AIDS in the contemporary timeline. Now, in both cases, illness not only drives an additional wedge between two people, but it also subtly highlights the increased vulnerability to viral outbreaks among marginalised and underserved communities. Now, as the twin dramas play out across Compensation's runtime, Davis, that's the director, fills the film with small aesthetic touches that deepen the contrasts between the two time periods, while she also subtly links them in a continuum. Now, the intertitles that you see are a constant delight in the film, not only for the manner in which fonts shift according to the penmanship or articulation of people speaking and writing letters, but also for the distinct borders around the intertitles, depending on which time period we're in. The intertitles for the 1910 segments, they're bounded by elegant white lines with baroquely curled edges, while those that break up the 1990 material, they have African patterns along the edges, and that's a subtle reflection of people's more open embrace of roots culture that's taken place over the preceding decades. Now, the film Compensation's most extraordinary aesthetic element, though, is its sound design, which is alternately boisterous, and it's filled with pockets of silence. It captures the bustle of big city life, as well as the perspective of its deaf characters. Booming, vibrating noises cut through the sound mix at any given moment, but there are often packets of dead air around those sounds, and we see on-screen actions that you'd expect to be accompanied by a corresponding sound effect. Well, these turn out to be entirely mute, as for instance when someone knocks on Malika's door and she only registers the knock via a device that lights up to notify her that she has a visitor. Now, the intricacy of the mixing of the sound is astonishing here, and Davis's thoughtfully thorough subtitling for accessibility purposes even extends to noting sound effects and music cues in detail, and that recalls some of the audio textual experiments that Jean-Luc Godard conducted in his late period. The immersive quality of the sound within the film is one facet of the way that Compensation deftly uses intimate methods of character identification. Now, this is designed to encourage the viewer to imbibe the larger history that's lived through these figures. Through the specific experiences of Melinda, Malika, Arthur and Nico, we get ground-level glimpses of Chicago at the beginning and after the apex of its rise as a major cosmopolitan city. In both eras, shaped in literal and cultural ways, of course, by its black populace. The triumphs of self-expression and tragedies of ongoing marginalisation are lived out through both romances, and the divergent paths of the two stories are linked in demonstrating the value of embracing hope and connection, even in the face of inevitable loss. Now, Davis packs a lot into the 90-plus minute span of the film. It is at once a tribute to historic and contemporary black deaf culture and an homage to the black silent film industry of the early 20th century, and an examination of the impact of the Great Migration, and a moving appreciation of the poetic and performing arts, which are exemplified by a dance which is set to a melodic interpretation of Dunbar by Malika's best friend Bill, played in the film by Christopher Smith. And I would also put it that the Afrofuturist canon is explored, an exercise in looking both backward and forward to expand the scope of stories that can be told about black life and experiences. I think Compensation is a study in the sense of place and of the senses themselves, the sounds, vibrations, sights, and emotional resonance that spots like the Chicago lakefront evoke. And of course, the sense that love can lead to understanding of shared growth and of connection across seemingly impenetrable lines. Compensation comes to the Criterion collection on Blu-ray only, and it contains these special features. There's a new 4K digital restoration of the film, supervised and approved by the director Zeinabu Irene Davis, in collaboration with the UCLA Film and Television Archive and Women with a Mission Productions, and in conjunction with the Sundance Institute with uncompressed stereo soundtrack. An audio commentary featuring Davis, screenwriter Mark Arthur Sherry, and the director of photography Pierre H.L. Dizier Jr. Q&As with the members of the cast and the crew. Two short films by Davis, that's Crocodile Conspiracy from 1986 and Pandemic Bread from 2023, and the latter has audio commentary featuring Davis and cast and crew members along with descriptive audio. Interview with Davis from 2021, and a new programme about select archival photographs and Atinkra and Veve symbols in the film. We've a trailer, English subtitles and intertitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, and English descriptive audio, and an essay written by the film scholar Raquel Gates, a director's note, and a conversation between Davis and artist Alison O'Daniel about the process of captioning the film. And the cover art for the disc is designed by Polly Deadman. Compensation is a landmark of American independent cinema, and it confronts the social forces and the prejudices that hinder love. The film comes with a running time of 92 minutes, and it's in a 1:33:1 aspect ratio, and it releases on Tuesday the 26th of August in the US only on Blu-ray as Spine 1274. Now we're going to take a short break on Let's Talk Criterion, but in between that you can watch some more of Rory Jocelyn choosing some more of his favourite Criterion titles, as well as a close-up that I promised on Miracle in Milan, the film directed by Vittorio De Sica. So I will see you again in September for the release of the 4K UHD upgrade of Akira Kurosawa's film High and Low. So until then, from me, as always, it's goodbye, and above all, good Criterion viewing.